Honorable Trevor Walker, Deputy Chair for the Barbuda Council, Mr. Paul Ned, Secretary of the Barbuda Council, Mr. Kendra Beezer, a member of the Barbuda Council, Ms. Tessa Weber, Disaster Coordinator for the Barbuda Council, Staff Sergeant Richards, Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force. We in the Methodist Church, although we do not have a church here in Barbuda, also see Barbuda as a part of our mission field, but more importantly, as fellow citizens of Antigua and Barbuda. We join with others in praying for our sister Isle, and we have sought ways to help in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. Today we are presenting and handing over some supplies, 16 barrels and 5 pallets of hurricane relief supplies, donated by concerned citizens living overseas who were able to mobilize their churches and others to help in this regard. These include Sister Marva Lawrence Jeremiah from Bethesda, who lives in Bronx, New York, who provided 6 barrels of food items, toiletries, and clothing. This was an individual initiative. She happens to be the sister-in-law of Brother Philip Lloyd, who's right here. Reverend Sonia James from Sockholz, now living in Brooklyn, also provided 10 barrels of food supplies, toiletries, some clothing items, and some school supplies. She was able to source these through the St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Brooklyn. Reverend Roger Jackson of that church was very instrumental in helping in supporting this effort. Also, Sister Melvina Ordain with the Caribbean Cultural Coalition based in Houston, Texas. She was instrumental in securing 5 pallets of water, food items, food supplies, toiletries, and clothing, etc. Unfortunately, these items were transshipped through St. Kitts and got stranded there for some 3 months, but eventually they made it to Antigua. The Methodist Church in Antigua would have paid in excess of $4,000 with related costs, but we were happy to assist in this regard and to facilitate. In each case, we would have received the exemptions from the government of Antigua and Barbuda. We're also grateful to the National Office of Disaster NODS for their assistance and partnership. And so, sir, today, we are happy to make this presentation and pray and trust that these items will help in some way as Barbudans and residents resettle in a post-Irma Barbuda. We continue to pray for the rebuilding process as we seek to progress in this stead. We know that things have been a bit slow, but we're praying that somehow things will speed up and that persons won't get discouraged, but will continue to press on, working together to make it happen. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
I'd just like to say a heartfelt thank you to Reverend Derek Brown and to Mr. Philip Lloyd, who are representing the Methodist faith this morning here in Barbuda. And I just want to say, extend our appreciation to you guys for actually coming to Barbuda to be a part of this handing over ceremony this morning. On behalf of the people of Barbuda and the Barbuda Council, I would like to just say a heartfelt thanks to your organization for not only delivering these items to Barbuda this morning, but also for remembering Barbuda in your prayers and upholding us in your prayers. It has been a real difficult journey for us post-Hurricane Irma. We're still recovering slower than we expected, but thank God we are moving. And I hope that your organization will continue to solicit on behalf of us, not only nationally or regionally, but internationally as well. I know that these food items and the pallets with water, etc., would go a long way to assist us here in Barbuda to supply the needs that has been void here for a long time. I want to say special thanks as well to Mrs. Marva Lawrence, Jeremiah, Bronx, New York, for her hard work in putting part of this together. Also Reverend Sonia James from Brooklyn, St. Paul's United Methodist Church, again, who was part of this initiative, and also Sister Melvina Ordain from the Caribbean Cultural Coalition in Houston, Texas. I single out these persons because they have really done play a huge part in ensuring that we're able to stand here this morning receiving these gifts. So once again, on behalf of the entire Barbuda Council and the Barbuda Society, I want to say heartfelt thanks to you and to your Methodist organization for ensuring that we're not left out, as small as Barbuda is, for remembering us. And even though you don't have a branch here, I'm hoping one of these days in the near future that you would extend that part of your faith as well to us here in Barbuda. Once again, thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you too, my brother. God's blessings. Bless you, sir. Bless you, sis. Honorable Trevor Walker, Deputy Chair of the Barbuda Council, Mr. Paul Ned, Secretary of the Barbuda Council, Mr. Kendra Beezer, Member of the Barbuda Council, Ms. Tessa Weber, Coordinator for Disaster, Staff Sergeant Richards from the Antigua Barbuda Defense Force, and we have Ms. Charlene Harris, Principal of Holy Trinity Primary School, and Ms. Michael Francois, teacher. Well, she's among the management here at the school, teachers, students, all. Today we are quite happy and pleased to make this presentation of books and school supplies through the Ebenezer Methodist Church and the Antigua Circuit of the Methodist Church. The supplies here represents some $30,000 worth of school supplies. These supplies were made possible through the kind generosity of Mr. Fred Standback of North Carolina. Through his foundation, yes, he's a Methodist in the United Methodist Church, and who through Mr. Sam Amer of the Ebenezer Methodist Church made this contribution of $10,000 available to assist the Barbudans in light of the devastation of Hurricane Irma. Also, Mr. Buckley from Antigua, who through the First United Methodist Church of Oviedo, Florida, also donated some $4,000 US towards relief here in Barbuda. This was channeled through the Methodist Church in Antigua. Now, we found it necessary to see what was the best way we could contribute, to have a lasting contribution. And because the Methodist Church goes way back in pioneering in education in Antigua, back to the days of slavery, then it was easy for us to make a decision that the children in particular should benefit from this donation. Because I know once we invest in our children, that that contribution will go a very, very long way. And so we are so happy to make this presentation today. And we do pray and trust that these books and other supplies will go a long way in helping you, the children, to one, grow, that will shape you not only for, the academics and for the world of work, but we do pray and trust that these supplies will help you as we seek to shape and mold you for life. And that is more important. We are educated for life and not just for a job, right? And so we do pray and trust that this generous donation will go a very long way in helping. What I do notice is that some of these books are not books that the government school generally uses. The private schools sometimes have a little advantage. Well, here at Holy Trinity, you have that advantage now as you have these books also available to you. So I want to make this presentation, pray God's blessings on you, Madam Principal, as we turn these books over to you. God bless.
Pleasant good day to everyone. A pleasant good day to everyone.
Good day.
Good day, Miss Harris. Very good. Secretary of the Barbuda Council, Honorable Representative for Barbuda, Mr. Trevor Walker, Member of the Barbuda Council, Mr. Biza, Mrs. Francois, Staff Richards. Good day, everyone. Indeed, on behalf of the Holy Trinity family, students, teachers, and by extension, our community, we want to say thank you for the generous donation through the Methodist Church. We indeed are grateful, and as you mentioned, we have received books today that the government normally would not have supplied through the Board of Education, but as a result of this generosity from the Methodist Church and partners, we have these books today, and I can assure you that we will indeed put them to good use. And we do have the edge, because here at Holy Trinity School, we do believe in excellence. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Students, let's say thank you. For the books. We love them. Very good. Thanks again.
Again, Mr. Derek Brown, Mr. Philip Lloyd, behind the scenes, Principal of Holy Trinity School, Ms. Harris, Mrs. Francois, my colleague, Kendra Bees, a member of council, Mr. Paul, and Secretary of the Barbuda Council. This is indeed a very special occasion, because for me, investing in education is really investing in the future. And once again, I'd like to thank the Methodist organization for extending beyond just food supplies and other supplies for Barbudans and go a step further by investing in education. I want to say special thanks, though, to Mr. Fred Stanback from North Carolina, who also contributed to this special occasion this morning, and Mr. Buckley from Antigua, who is involved in the First Methodist Church of Oviedo, Florida, who also came together to allow this to happen this morning. I want to again thank you on behalf of the people of Barbuda and the Barbuda Council, and hope that your organization would not only continue to pray for us, but continue to be a part of all the civic and social activities in Barbuda. We recognize that the spiritual part of life is as important and more important in some aspects as the physical part of life. And so, as I said to you before, it is my hope that your organization, your faith, would consider spreading your wings 25 miles north of Antigua to Barbuda. Again, once again, thank you very much. And on behalf of all of us again, we really wish your organization well and hope that you continue the good work that you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.